In a 2011 article titled The Fun of Cake Decorating, the Craft and Hobby Association found that the sale of cake decorating tools and kits had grown by 103%. This was around the same time that my friends and I became interested in this, which is probably, there's probably a pretty big connection there. So today I'll be talking to you about how to decorate a cake because it's something that I'm super interested in and something I've kept up with since I was about 9. In SLO County, an 8-person birthday, or like a birthday cake that serves 8 people costs about $85, and I can make that for about 20, so that's probably pretty helpful. But I'll be going over the 3 main steps of how to decorate, which are making the frosting, creating a solid base, and piping. So the first step is making the frosting. This recipe here serves 8 people, but obviously you can adjust that. But I found it in a 1957 New York Times article by Jane Nickerson. And it's just a super simple process. It's a basic buttercream, so it takes about 5 minutes. All you do is put the room temperature butter into a bowl and then mix it on high for about a minute until it becomes like whiter in color and like fluffy. And then add the powdered sugar, half cup at a time, just so it doesn't like fly everywhere when you put it in. You could obviously put it all in at once, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then once you do all of that, it'll probably be pretty thick, so then you would want to add the liquid to kind of smooth it out. And basically, it's super simple. You just need those 4 ingredients, and then you could obviously like customize it and add different flavoring if you wanted to, but that's just the basic way of doing it. The second step is a crumb coat, which is basically just a thin layer of frosting that seals in like all the loose pieces of the cake. So obviously, it's not visually appealing or anything. You just like the main point of it is to seal in everything. And then once you do this, it kind of creates an even foundation for later when you like decorate the cake and add like the thicker layer of frosting and stuff. So once you've done that, you either want to set it out for 10 to 15 minutes or put it in the freezer just so that it becomes like dry to the touch. And once you've done this, then you can move on, add a base color for what you want the actual cake to look like. And so then it's like prepared for the actual decorating part. And then the third and final step is my favorite step, which is piping. So you're going to want to pick a tip for whatever design that you want. There's literally hundreds of tips, but these are 3 that I'd say are like the most common. The one on the left is a round tip, which is used for like things like writing and things like that. And then the star tip, you can do obviously stars or flowers and things like that. And then the grass tip, I'll show you later what it kind of like looks like once it's piped out, but you can use that for like different textures and stuff like that. But once you've picked a tip, you're going to want to fill the piping bag. So what I do is I use a glass or any kind of cup and kind of wrap the bag around the outside just so you have both hands free. And then just use a spatula to kind of fill the bag up. And like if you can, you want to try and avoid air bubbles because it'll screw you up later when you're actually piping because it'll come out inconsistently. And then once you've done that, just secure the end. Most of the time it'll stay if you just twist it, but if not, you can like clip it or they sell clips for that type of thing. And then once you've filled the bag, you're going to want to pay attention to the angle, which seems kind of like nitpicky, but there's different angles that you're going to want to use. So on the left is the 45-degree angle, which you would use typically for like stars and flowers or like that type of design. And then on the right, the 90-degree angle you would use for like writing or lines or like polka dots. But obviously, like it's not a super hard process to do. It's just once you practice, you'll become a lot more comfortable with it, which is something that Minnie Bernardino in her 1982 article, Cakes and the Many Decorating Techniques, it's something that she really emphasizes. Because like it's not hard, like we know that, but the more you practice, like you can start like experimenting with more fun things. So these are some that I have made. The one on the left, I used the grass tip, which is what I was showing about like the different textures that you can get. And then on the right, I used 2 different sizes of star tips and I used a round tip for like the lines to get the checkers, like to see where I wanted to put the colors. And then for these, I used the same size of star tip and a round tip for the designs on the left side. If you're wondering why they're all like little kid things, it's because my sister goes really all out for birthday parties. So like I'm in charge of the cakes and stuff. But yeah, so like these kind of just show like once you get good at it, you can experiment with a lot of different things and go a lot of different ways with it. So just to conclude, obviously like I said, practicing, it'll make you a lot more comfortable with it and it can be a lot of fun if you're interested in even trying it. To recap the steps, all you have to do is make the frosting, get a solid base, and then pipe. And hopefully if you ever want to try to bake a cake, now you know how you can finish it off. Thank you.